I cut it out, but I don't want to.
Well, welcome everyone to Porch Thoughts. You see what I did? I did the same thing to my buddy.
Oh, no.
I'll cut some of that out if it says I will.
Sorry, Amelia.
Sorry.
We're cutting that out for your sake.
Yeah. At least I will. I'll try. Even though I don't really know you in person, but I don't know. But welcome to episode 3 of Porch Thoughts, and today I have another coworker. I should really change the name to Coworker Thoughts or something. I've only had coworkers. I mean, all my friends are coworkers.
But that's how you start to maintain your relationships. You know, it typically starts at work, and you're like, "Oh, they're kind of cool.
Yeah,
we could, yeah."
And
that's how it starts.
Right.
Yeah.
But here with me, I have my past coworker, really good friend, who also has his own podcast, Keenan.
Hi guys, I'm Keenan. Nice to meet y'all. So excited to be here.
Keenan,
thank you for Brandon for having me.
I completely cut you off. My bad.
No, it's okay. You start that over. Thank you, Brandon, for having me.
Of course. It's always a pleasure to have you on here, and definitely would like to see you in future episodes as well. And, just keep the ball rolling. And, yeah. So,
I'm excited.
What do you do? Tell the crowd what you do.
So, I'm in education. Also, like you mentioned, I have a podcast called Millennial Verses. We are currently in season 3. I cannot believe we're already in season 3. It's only been a year and a half, but Millennial Versus is my baby. Just like my kids are my baby, so I'm excited, doing a lot.
Good stuff, man. If y'all are definitely into other things than nerdy stuff and music, check out Millennial Versus. They got some really good topics, and they really make you think on different social issues, political issues, things like that. So definitely go by them and follow them and do the whole thing. Subscribe to their YouTube. Definitely subscribe to their YouTube.
Hey,
shout
out to Millennial Versus Presents Gen Talk on YouTube.
Definitely.
Our first visual series.
First visual, man. That's great. I need to get with you on how to do visual stuff, but
well, let me tell you, you need to get with my videographer because
okay, I'll get with him too.
But I got a good person for you.
Good stuff, man. Well, let's get into the topic, really. It's really one topic today, because I sent you the whole list of topics, and you're just like, well, music could be a entire episode.
Yes, all in itself. You and I have gone back and forth for years about music. Our after-work parked car combos, we were just like, oh, no, I got a song for you. No, I got a song for you.
We'd be there for hours, and my mom would text me like, hey, when you coming home?
Are you okay? Why are you still at work?
It'd be 8, and I'm supposed to get out at 7, so.
Yeah.
But those were good times. I actually really miss those times, just sitting in the car and playing music. But
same. I think that's one of the things about music. It connects people,
Yeah.
And sometimes music really is its own form of language. Because sometimes maybe things don't translate, and you really get to know somebody through their music. It's like, oh, wow, you listen to this? You're probably really deep.
Yeah, or if you're like me and listen to nothing but Metallica and Joji, then you would assume that I'm a depressing person.
Well, Metallica and Joji are both amazing, so.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I mean, let's get into 777, because.
Oh, man.
What a song, right?
What a song.
Have
you heard his new songs that dropped?
I have not. I'm behind. I'm so behind. I know. Sorry, Joji.
It's only 2 songs. Though.
Really?
Yeah, he dropped Yukon Interlude, which is actually really catchy after a while. And then he dropped Glimpse of Us. Love the Glimpse of Us.
I need to step up on my Joji game. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But he's dropping an album in November, which...
Pretty soon, next month. Yeah. I'm thinking, for some reason, I don't know, music just has not been...
The same?
It hasn't been the same. Am I the only one?
Mm-hmm. No, you're not. Yeah. I was about to say, you're the only one. I completely agree. A lot of rap sounds the same these days. But.
It does, and I think a lot of these newer artists are very... I don't know, the word I find is monotony. It's all just very stagnant. It's all the same. I feel like it's a copy and paste. Exactly. And so a lot of these newer artists, I'm like, I cannot decipher the difference between this artist and this artist because I feel like it's the same song.
Uzi and Cardi are the same.
I mean,
not really, but
I kind of, sort of though.
yeah,
I like both, but kind of, sort of.
yeah. I like both of them. They sound different each of their music. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I think lately I've been trying to move away from like rap and hip hop. Not that it's immature.
Mm-hmm.
It takes me back to a time where I was just like young and whatever, but I don't know. It's just it doesn't. It also just doesn't hit the same though. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like
I just been more into
of,
getting back into the metal and like not the screaming stuff like Slipknot or anything like that. Like Metallica.
I used to listen that though. I did.
I didn't know
when I was
that.
a kid. Yeah, I think when. Okay, so a little bit about my background. Me being a black male, I grew up at a Christian school, right? And it was primarily white kids there. So for me, Oh,
Get into it, man.
I know it's gonna be
Jump-
something. I
jump
started
into it.
off only listening to country music, a little bit of pop, just a tiny bit of pop,
Really?
and disco for probably until like sixth grade. Yeah, sixth, seventh grade, and I found this group. I used to watch a lot of reality TV even as a kid. I love TV, and I started watching Making the Band, and they had
about that,
this
yeah.
group. They were like trying to find like a female group, all female group, and they like put them together. I saw their story. They became Danity Kane, my favorite. And
Really?
so from
Okay.
there, like they opened doors for me to listen to other sorts of music. I will say my exception though to the country, disco, and minimal pop was like Whitney Houston,
Yeah.
Prince, and Brandy. I think that's pretty much it.
Hi, Mom. No, I'm just kidding. My mom's
Until later, so but yeah, I probably would have been stuck if it wasn't for me like watching that show and being able to see like the history and really like making the band, like literally making the band and seeing it
yeah.
from the beginning, and like wow, like this industry is really cool. Of course it's horrible, but just seeing the process can be really cool.
Right. Yeah. I probably should have just started off like the first few years of you that you can remember of you listening to music. What's your background with that? I probably should start with that question.
That's
I
a
guess
really
you
good
basically
question.
gave.
Well,
let's say like if it's like let's say as far back as you can remember. There you go. There we go. There.
I hear my mom tell this story sometimes, but she said when I was a baby, she was like, Keenan, you really didn't cry a lot, but if you ever cried and like we could not get you to stop crying, there was this commercial of Whitney Houston and she would be singing, I think a Pepsi commercial, and Whitney Houston would be singing, and she was like, we recorded it, like back in the day when they had like the VHS and you could like record the TV, the games, the commercials, episodes, and all that. She was like, we finally caught the commercial one time and we just saved it because every time you heard Whitney Houston sing, you would stop crying.
Right.
So I think for me, probably just hearing that Whitney Houston story and Brandy being a really big one, who I'm still a huge fan of now. She was one of the last artists I listened to in the car on the way here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So I think Whitney Houston and Brandy, and it's crazy that they're like connected.
Yeah.
But those are my first two.
That's good stuff. I can't say I have like the first two artists or specific genres or anything, because my dad, he listened to, well, back then on every car ride we'd go to, he'd play something. It would be between Metallica to Omarion, Icebox, just that song though.
Of course.
Icebox, that's a good one. Childhood, Rick Ross, something country.
Your dad's in a Rick Ross?
Yeah.
Oh.
At least
I
his
didn't see that
older
one.
stuff, like,
Yeah.
and probably a few songs, but he used to be into it. He listens to country a lot more now. But a lot of it was, he also just listened to a lot of R&B. I think he even had a song from Linkin Park at one point. And this is back before phones, so like we had to get like the disc to make your own playlist and
Burning CDs.
yeah, burning CDs. I think it was back in those days, and he had a lot of CDs, man.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Like I go into the little storage area we had, and it'd be like a case, and it was just a bunch of different CDs. He had like Kanye West late night registrations on there, and then he would have Unwrapped, which is just rap songs that are jazzy and made to be more, I guess, clean cut.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can really just get clean cut of songs, but
Right.
tomato, tomato. If you like that, it's what you into. That's good stuff.
Sure.
Let's see. He also had just like Brandy, Beyonce.
Oh, nice.
He just had a lot of music, and just looking at that, it's like, wow. It's definitely
Say,
diverse.
Yeah, really
and
diverse.
I wouldn't expect that, from a
Yeah.
lot of people these days,
I gotta say with...
Well, not that my dad's a people these days, but,
Right.
Right.
I gotta say with Beyonce, I came into her like later in life too.
Right.
I think I didn't understand like the genius that was Beyonce until probably her 4 album or Lemonade. Lemonade like solidified it for me. I was like, oh wow, like this woman literally can do anything, and I think she's proving that now, even with like Renaissance. This album is so different. It's very like disco pop. It's very house. It's very club. It's a little all over the place, but I think it's, and when I say all over the place, I mean it spans several genres of music.
Right.
But it's still very cohesive, and it's still true to Beyonce, which is really cool. I love when an artist can venture out, do their own thing, and still be true to who they are, to their essence and to their core. And I think she does that beautifully.
Yeah. So, do you have any and I'm kind of right off the, go off the trail of artists and stuff just for a little bit, and just kind of ask if you were in school and you did any instruments or anything that kind of got you more into music, or any experience like that, or were you a singer? Well, yeah, singer.
So I did used to sing, and I was like a theater kid.
There you go.
So like from kindergarten all the way up to my senior year, and of course in high school. Like
Yeah.
when you're getting into high school, it's not so cool.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be the lead of this play. I'm going to do this and that. And then you get to be too cool for school in high school. So I remember in 10th grade, I was like, I'm not going to try out for this. I don't want to be a part of it. Blah, blah, blah. Man, my teacher came to me and he said, Keenan, you will be my lead. I was like, no, I didn't audition. He said, you will be my lead. I was like, dang. Like, I did not want to be a part of this. Now my friends are going to be talking about me.
Yeah.
He's like, Keenan, you do a great job, so why not? But yeah, I used to sing. I was in choir. I used to do competitions, solo, duets.
Uh-huh.
We had our like little, almost like a barbershop or something sort of thing.
Right.
I was that nerd. I was that kid.
Right.
But yeah, I used to sing. I couldn't play any instruments. I tried to do the piano, couldn't do it. Tried to do the guitar, couldn't do it.
I got a guitar in my room right now.
See, I can't.
I can't do it either.
I couldn't do the recorder. No instruments for me.
Yeah.
None at all. What about you though?
I hadn't really done any instruments like that until probably 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I bought myself a guitar because my dad, he had a guitar. And that's not the reason I bought it, but I wanted to learn some songs on guitar because I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. And before I had a relationship, I was like, I could pick up some girls with this,
Yeah.
But, no, I didn't get too far into it. There's only a few songs on there I was able to. And then the more and more I kind of shied away from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of left it in the back burner, and now it's just like a thing in my room that I can probably sell and get some money from. Pay off some rent.
Hey, look.
If you want one.
What I tell you, I'm no good. I'm no
I mean, you
good.
could have it for a prop for Millennial Versus.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
There you go. Just a background prop for something.
Yeah, it could be in the studio. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
We might have to talk about that.
We will.
Yeah.
But other than that, singing with the church my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up going to church every Sunday and Wednesday, and they sing. So we didn't go to the ones where it's like they had the choir or anything like that. It's just everyone there sings, which
Right.
I like that a little bit more. Well, I'm not going to say a little bit, I'll say a lot more. It just feels more personal singing to the Lord. But
I agree. My old church, we had a choir, and I liked it.
yeah.
But I can see that being more personal, not having a choir, and just say, like, everybody join in, because
Yeah.
even with having a choir, everybody was expected to sing from their seat, too. So
Yeah.
it's like...
Everyone gets involved.
Yeah.
And it's really... And in the Bible it says it's the way it should be. But instead of me trying to shed my biblical aspects on the things, we're here to talk about music. So singing was
But see,
singing
it's all
was a thing.
interconnected.
Huh?
It's all interconnected.
It all is. It all is. But yeah. I'd say, what was the first album that you can say is your favorite from which artist?
I would have to go back to Danity Kane. Their self-titled debut album, because, I got to hear a couple of songs before the album released, and I was like, this isn't my kind of music, but this is really good, and they do a great job, so, maybe them, but, that album just really taught me, and it's crazy, but it really taught me to venture out, and it's okay to explore, it's okay to get out of your little bubble, because I am a creature of habit, and I like to stick with these are my favorite artists, this is what I do, these are the clothes that I wear. And so I think especially at that time as a kid, I needed that time to explore. So now I'm able to go out, and it moves past just music, I can go and travel the world, which I've done. I do not mind exploring fashion. I love unisex. I mean, you see what I'm wearing now. I don't mind unisex fashion. So or sort of gender neutral.
For to be more, for my knowledge, that's anyone can wear type clothes, right? Yeah. Okay.
Gender neutral.
Yeah, I was just like.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I think that was the stepping stone into me becoming who I am now, is for me to say to listen to that album, honestly.
Yeah.
And that shows how powerful music can be. But Danity Kane's self-titled album. What about you, though?
Oh, man. I can't remember. It's between two, and I have these two in my room. I've showed you before. It's got to be Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park, or I keep wanting to call it Discovery, but it's not Discovery. Random Access Memories by Daft Punk.
Oh, yes.
I think I listened to Daft Punk first. No, it was Linkin Park.
Really?
It was Linkin Park. I remember that was the mood for me back then. It's the first album I listened to all the way, and this is before Apple really had streaming services.
Right.
So you had to buy them on
Pay
iTunes.
for everything.
Yeah. But they also had the radios for free.
This album.
They had radios for free, on the app, so you can just listen to stuff. But I think unlike Spotify gives you a limit of how many things you can skip. Apple, you just keep skipping
until you hear what you want. Is it similar to Pandora, how they do their? Is that how it was?
I think so, just with a different interface.
Gotcha.
I was never a big fan of Pandora. It was just another radio that I had to pay for, and it was well, I got Apple, so why not just do that?
See, I have Apple, I have Spotify. I have Apple because that's what I prefer to use.
Right.
But I have Spotify because a lot of my friends use Spotify, and also Millennial Versus is on Spotify, so it's
same
easy
here for me.
Right. And then I have Pandora. It just depends on my mood. Just depends. And I love SoundCloud because I can find all my favorite artists sort of leaked or unreleased songs on there.
I hate
SZA.
unreleased songs, but yeah.
You hate unreleased songs?
Not that I hate it, but it's just I hear them there. I have to get into that later. I'll let you finish. I have to get into why you don't like it.
I'm honestly done. I really want to get into that. Why do you hate unreleased music?
Because it's unreleased. I can't just go to my app. I have reasons why. So number one, I can't just go to Apple Music and be like, oh, let's get it. Let's listen to it. Secondly, a lot of artists, and this is Playboi Carti, and this is why I get frustrated with him as an artist, but I still love his music. He's most artists, they once they have something that's leaked and they know that it's leaked, they never drop it unless it's Uzi. But other than Uzi, a lot of people don't drop the unreleased music. It's just this sounds so good, why not? That's because someone leaked it.
Right.
Then the other reason is, I feel like it does some kind of damage to the artist, because they get a lot of attention from some random account that leaked it and hacked into their stuff, and they get all that revenue and the views and all that. I mean, as far as I know. But
I would say a little less like leaked and more unreleased.
unreleased.
Which there's a difference with that.
Ooh, okay.
I think, and this is what I've known to be true, but sometimes artists do leak their own music just to like see like, hey, do people like
so
to
like
pull, to
like
pull
little
people?
like little clips is what you mean by unreleased, or do you mean like the whole?
No, I mean sometimes they'll release the whole song just to be like just to poll people and be like, do people like this song? So let me just leak it or release it. And I've heard that to be true from other artists where they'll be like, yeah, let me just release this, and if they don't like it, then it'll never be on the album or I'll never play it again, and they'll just have that song. But if they like it, like maybe that'll be like my first single and be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it was like this is my first single on the album. And please, sometimes I'm not saying that's always the case, but sometimes but
I mean, there's good leaked music, and I'd be a hypocrite just to keep dogging on leaked and unreleased music as much as I dislike it, because I do have some artists that I like to have something that's leaked. And I'm just like, ooh.
Well, you're respecting the artist, though.
Yeah.
You're just respecting the artist and the artistry, because when you're finally crafting something that's so important and special to you, like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And then you got artists like St. John who will post their... I love St. John. Good stuff. He's like Uzi, but better. I think he's better. I have more songs I like from him.
I think he's better, too.
Well, he has less songs than Uzi, so I can't really say. But I think it was one of his songs, he posted on YouTube and like a whole music video and everything. Well, it's more of like a loop thing, but he posted it on YouTube nonetheless. And it took him like months to drop it on like Apple Music and Spotify. I was like, bro, I am waiting for this. I love YouTube, but I can't leave my phone on all the time.
Right.
It drains the battery. But yeah, I think music is just overall, when it comes to it being leaked or not leaked, overall, even if some things are leaked, artists still get their views and listens and get their money either way. So I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter per se for them.
Right.
But yeah, I'm gonna switch gears to I guess favorite artist right now, current favorite artist. Who are you listening to right now? I was hoping you would
ask that question. My favorite artist of all time. Super controversial. Also, I love indie music, so I love, I don't listen to the radio.
Yeah.
I don't listen to anything that's sort of popular mainstream. I mean, there are a few artists that I have heard on the radio, or maybe even listened to them before they were really popular, and I'm like, and I'm good at that too. I'm really good at finding artists before they get big, like SZA. I've been listening to SZA before Control, her debut album, dropped. I
say you're good at putting on people with artists in general. You put me on to Miguel.
Thank you. Yes.
I thank you for that.
Thank you. He's in my top 10 for sure, maybe even my top 5.
Yeah.
Also, there's an artist. Her name is Tenario. She has a beautiful low register voice, and her music is very melodic, very sensual, very. She could honestly sing you to sleep. Her music is beautiful.
I like to sleep to music.
Her music is like poetry, I would say.
Really?
It's like poetry. And the way that because she writes on a lot of her music, which I think is a problem with artists who don't write a lot of their stuff, but the way that she writes, it's so visual. I can see everything that she's saying, and it's like a storybook, honestly. I just see everything. It's really cool. Tenario's really cool. SZA's one of my favorites. Miguel's one of my favorites. But I would say my number one is Dawn Richard, and she was from
Hey, go on. Tell them everything about it.
Let me tell you.
Put the audience on.
Okay,
put them on to somebody.
You heard me talking about Danity Kane.
Yeah.
She was in that group, and sort of when they broke up, she did her own thing. She was in Diddy Dirty Money. If you know Hello Good Morning, with Rick Ross, T.I., and the remix had Nicki Minaj. But she was in that group, and she was incredible.
Sorry, that motorcycle just like at me like, okay.
Like, sorry. Oh, that's not necessary.
We're podcasting over here.
Don't you hear us, mister?
Exactly.
But yeah, she was in that group, Diddy Dirty Money, incredible. But she had an album called Golden Heart.
Yeah. That
was one of her first albums. And when I heard it at first, I was like, this is so weird, so different. I don't like it. I was like, I waited all this time and this is what this is?
Yeah.
And so I put it away for like a month or two, maybe even a little bit longer. And I came back to it. I was like, I really love her and I want to like this album. Like, let me go back to it. And so, you know how you like find yourself singing some songs and you're just like, interesting. Maybe I should listen to that song because I keep singing it.
Yeah.
And then you go back and you're like,
this,
this is so good. So I went back and listened to the album and I was like, whoa, I slept on this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So then she is putting out music videos, which, by the way, she's an incredible artist because she can dance her behind off.
Really?
Her visuals are crazy. Her singles are really good. Her album is so cohesive. Each album is different, has a different theme, but it's melodic and it flows. I'll tell you about the Heart series.
The Heart?
Yes. So it started with Golden Heart, and that's the album where I was like, I don't know, whatever. And then she ended up getting back with Danity Kane. They did their thing, had their DK3 album, Gold. And then she moves into Blackheart. And Blackheart is the second album in the trilogy that is the Heart trilogy.
Right.
Golden Heart, Blackheart, and then Redemption Heart or Redemption.
Uh-huh.
And so when she comes back with Blackheart, she has the song called Blow. That's her first single. And I like listened to the song, I watched the video. I was like, this video is fire. But I don't like this song. And I'm like, here we go again. Like, how is it that this whole, like, please don't tell me I'm not going to like this album. So before the album comes out, I'm like, singing Blow. And I'm like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
Let me just watch this video again. And so now I'm like over here trying to figure out the moves. I'm like, oh, she goes hard. Like, and so now I love the song. And so the album comes out, and this is the album that changed who I am today as an adult is because of the Blackheart album. Yeah. I will say that. That is the biggest influence to who I am. Especially to see a black woman, someone who looks like me, you know what I'm saying? Like, a black person, a black woman in this space, and she was like, I'm not going to be stuck in this R&B box that y'all want to put me in because I'm black.
And because everything.
She does everything. I've heard Dawn do house music. Dawn started out, she said it herself in an interview. She was like, you can see me performing at like a jazz club one day, doing my solo music. You can see me performing overseas in Paris in the stadium or whatever with Diddy Dirty Money, and see me at a gay club with Danity Kane the next day. Like, I'm all of those things, and you're not going to trap me or confine me into one box.
Right.
So Blackheart comes out, and again, similar to Tenario, who Tenario's newer, but before Tenario, Dawn, she like, everything was so incredibly beautiful and concise and so particular and thought out. The visuals, insane. She had, I think, 9 visuals for one album.
Really?
As an indie artist, how do you pull off that budget? How?
Yeah,
she's insane. Still to this day, I think if she had, it's going to be kind of controversial.
Oh.
But
don't get yourself canceled now. It's that bad.
Cancel me, because I'm going to ride hard for Dawn.
Okay.
I'm not changing on it.
Okay.
I feel like if Dawn had a Beyonce budget, right?
Uh-huh.
Y'all would be like, who is this? Like, she would shut the world down. And I think she already is doing that with the budget that she has. She's already doing that just because her and her team, like Monty Marsh, who does a lot of her visuals, like, her and her team, they're incredible. I still, I don't know how, I just want to sit and be like, how do you accomplish this? Like, how do you do this? I just want
Get a Q&A for Millennial Versus, do it.
I'm telling you, and the craziest part, I've been in like 4 of her concerts, so I've met her. I've met her several times.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've never met an artist in my life.
Really?
Nah, never.
Front row to every one of her concerts. I'm like, don't play with me. Don't play with me. We're over there talking about like her next album. It's so cool. I got to see her overseas in Germany.
Yeah.
I got to see her in her hometown of New Orleans. Like, she was performing at Essence Fest, which is huge, especially in the black community, to be able to have like everybody come together. You have artists like Janet Jackson, Missy Elliott. I think when I was there, Michelle Obama gave a speech. Like, what?
That's Michelle Obama?
Michelle Obama.
Where'd she come from?
Right. So it's like we have all of these, just being able to pull black people together and be able to see her like in her hometown, like full headdress, because she's part of the Native American, like that's her culture too.
Yeah.
And so to be able to like witness that, I'm just like, every time I go and see her, I'm just like near tears, like just in awe of everything that she accomplishes.
So would you put her in the class of artists that like influence the culture? Well, that's actually maybe all artists, maybe a good amount of artists that influence the culture.
I think
whether it's the African American culture or white culture, all cultures in general, or just the general world culture.
I think because she's not a huge artist and so very well known, it's hard to sort of say that, but at the same time, yes. Right. And I will say that because even with her being an indie artist, there are so many artists like Janelle Monáe or Nicki Minaj who are just like, yo, let me tell you about this Dawn. Dawn is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So to have big artists be like, yo, and point the finger to her and be like, she's the truth. She's good. I think, yeah, I'd have to say so.
That's good. Yeah. I think I really like those artists that influenced the culture at one time or another. Kanye influenced the culture back when he was releasing music. Kid Cudi did. And Kid Cudi really... I didn't listen to him at the time he came out with Man on the Moon.
Ooh.
But like, when I listened to it...
To live in that era, Brandon.
I lived in that era. I just didn't listen to that one because I remember I would just kind of be like, Kid Cudi, who's this?
Yeah.
Kid Cudi. I used to think it was Kid Cudi. I was like, what's that? So I look at his albums. I was like, it doesn't look like it interests me. And then I hear everyone on Twitter talking about it. This is probably, I'd say, 2018. That's when I started actually getting into his music. And I was like, this is actually really good. And then I heard Man on the Moon, the song itself. I felt like I was levitating, man. I was like, I'm going to the moon. Yes, I'm on the moon.
I'm the man on the moon now.
I am. Yeah, I really love Kid Cudi's music. And then I kind of did the same thing with Man on the Moon that I did with Man on the Moon too. Because I listened to 1 or 2 songs and I was just like, eh. But then I listened to Mr. Rager. I listened to Ghost. I love Ghost.
God, I was thinking the same.
Ghost is like my depression song right there, man. I will listen to that when I'm sad.
That's your depression song.
That or anything from Joji. But
yeah.
But definitely Ghost. Really one of my favorite songs on that album.
My depression song is a song by Dawn, of course. Like,
hey, what's wrong with that?
Look, y'all are gonna have to get used to it because she has a song for every mood and tone. But she has a song. Also, it was like unreleased.
Right.
Called NLX. She had a song on her first album, Golden Heart, called Northern Lights, and so it was like a remix to that NLX.
Yeah. And
boy, when I tell you, anytime I feel like I need a good cry, anytime I feel like I'm holding something in, I gotta release. NLX it is. And if I'm in a good mood, I have to skip that song. I'm like, you cannot come up in my rotation right now. I am fragile.
Every Juice WRLD song for me.
See, I never got into Juice WRLD.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people ride the Juice WRLD train ever since his passing. I mean, I know a lot of people who are big fans of Juice WRLD before, but like, there's some people, and I think I'm one of those people who hasn't really explored his second album before his posthumous album. I hadn't really explored it that much. I mean, when I listened to it, I was like, but it took me a few listens to actually like a lot of the songs on that album, and I have countless songs on there.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna ask the audience a question. What is your favorite song, music, artist that puts you in a mood? Leave it in the comments below on YouTube, and I will see if I can get a poll going for Spotify. Don't know what the poll would be, but
That's a really interesting question. I can't wait to hear
yeah.
everybody's answers.
I'll have to find like a artist that you think is not better than one artist, and then we'll make that a poll. There we go. Cudi's better than Kanye.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so listen.
No, I'm just throwing that out.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I love Cudi, but Kanye, I can't call him a genius anymore after what he's been doing the past couple of weeks. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right. He did do that.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I respect the artist's political territory. This episode has taken a turn, but I feel like.
Well, we'll cut it after what you have to say about it.
Okay, that was perfect.
I did not mean to do that. About Logic's music, what do you like about Logic's music?
I don't listen to a lot of Logic's music. When it comes to
I'm cutting all that out.
R&B, it's cool. It's cool. When it comes to R&B and hip hop, I love the old Kanye.
Uh-huh.
I love the new Kanye's music. I used
to love Kanye.
I miss the old Kanye. J. Cole, Kendrick, Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie, Nas.
Love Nas. Illmatic is literally like. Illmatic is flawless.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10. All time.
Mm-hmm.
Top tier.
And my dad's a Nas fan too. I think. I don't think he's like super fan like he used to be. But I think he heard him in a Rick Ross song. I was like, yep, like him. These
newer rappers really just don't have me impressed. Someone who I will say I think is underrated is T.I.
Yeah. I don't want to say he was always underrated, but...
No, but I think he still puts out good music, good songs.
He was in a country song.
He was?
Yeah. It's actually a pretty good country song. You can really call it country because it just sounds very different. But it's not like, hey, Panini, don't you be a meanie, or Old Town Road.
Now, wait. Okay. Because
it isn't like mixed up, but, you know.
I don't view him as a rapper, but I like Lil Nas X.
I don't care too much for his new music.
I didn't like Panini, but...
I love Panini.
I did not.
I didn't like Old Town Road. That was like overrated.
Oh, I didn't like Old Town Road. I did, but, you know, now I have kids who likes to listen to Old Town Road every day.
I'm sorry.
And I'm like, can we put on any other song?
Let's put on some I don't know, something gangster.
my younger kids, they'll listen to like Old Town Road, like that sort of. My older kids, they're like, put on some Juice WRLD, Mr. Keenan, and I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here? Or what's another new rapper?
Youngboy, NBA,
NBA Youngboy. I'm like, how are y'all listening? What is going on here? Put on some Playboy Cardi. Put on some. I'm like, what?
You're too young to really listen to that. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was young, I listened to like music.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to. I mean, that's just kids. But like, it wasn't to the extent where like my parents were hearing it too, and they were just like,
right.
My parents would monitor me.
Right.
Nowadays, some people, I feel like most parents just kind of let their kids listen to whatever because take your iPad. I'm busy doing work over here.
That is a whole separate topic.
That's gonna be for next episode. I have you on. Yes. We might as well just get the next episode with you recorded today because this is a lot of stuff.
I mean, let me know. For some reason, I think I feel some sort of way because I am sort of I was an abstract child. Of course, being a black kid who. It's been in here like this whole time. That's what I kept looking at when I was looking over there.
Yeah, he won't hurt us. Right. If he starts flying at us, then we'll just get up, pause the podcast. There's a wasp.
We're dying. So
I got allergies to everything.
But yeah, no, I was an abstract child. I mean, obviously being the black kid who's listening to disco, like, are you okay? Like, I used to listen to, oh, you know what? I guess I would take it back to like the first album I ever owned.
Oh, okay.
Because I was saying Danity Kane, which that's the first one I bought with my actual money, like my allowance that I saved up for. But before that, it was like S Club 7. They were like they were a pop group from the UK, from England. They were probably the first ones that I like. I was like, Mom, you have to buy me the S Club 7 album. I need it.
On
CD? You don't understand. Yes, on a CD.
I never bought CDs, but
you never bought a CD.
I'm going to though. I know a store in Fayetteville in the mall.
You've never owned a CD before?
I didn't own my personal CD. My parents had CDs, but I never.
I feel so old.
Well, it's not that they were out of style, because I was still when I was growing up, CDs were still in effect. They were still relevant. So
you just didn't.
I just never got them when they were. Yeah, I never like bought it, and now it's like if I buy it, I have the album on my iPhone. But if I'm a mega fan, it doesn't matter.
I still have all my favorite CDs. I gave away a lot of them, but my favorite ones like the Danity Kane, the Day 26, the Dirty Money, S Club 7, Brandy. I still have all those. Miguel. Who else? I have a few Lil Wayne albums. Also, top tier rapper.
Lil
Don't
Wayne?
at me. Oh yeah.
I listened to a song. I like to work out quite a bit while I was in the gym, and I heard one of his songs come on my phone. It was like when Spotify runs out your playlist, they'll play something random.
Yeah.
And he played. I think they played Mahogany from the newest album, Funeral.
I've not.
I was just like, yo, this is good. So I got the iron. I was like, yeah, let's get it.
See, I think I listened to that
hype.
like one time, and I was like, eh.
I liked it. It's good for a workout. I don't know if I'd play it like every other day, but just to get that set in, whatever.
I just did that thing I normally do, where I'm just like, this is okay, and then I'll go back and be singing the song. I'm sure in a couple weeks.
You're just like, oh, this is working
like,
okay.
Oh, this is good. This is gold. This is magic.
Perfect.
Perfect. Fire.
Call it a day. Don't need anything else in my life.
Nothing else. Also, have I ever put you on Tinashe?
You have.
Yeah, Tinashe's for. Oh my god.
The album.
Aquarius is...
Is that the one where she's like... I call it the cleavage album.
Oh, no, that's... what album is that?
It's the one that has... the first song is Feelings, I think is the name of it.
Songs for You.
Songs for You, yes.
Yeah, that's a really good album.
Cleavage album. I like to call
Yeah,
it.
that's a cleavage album. Her first album, though, Aquarius, I listened to it mainly because she had a really popular song at that time called 2 On with Schoolboy Q, also one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Right.
He's in my top 10. I don't know. He's in my top 10 probably. I love Schoolboy Q.
Studio's good. I love Studio. There's that one, and there's another song I like from him.
I also love A$AP Ferg. Schoolboy Q and A$AP Ferg are like my twinsies who I'm just like, if I'm in the mood, I gotta listen to both.
I like Ferg, but Rocky is like,
I mean, keep it Rocky.
Love Rocky.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think Ferg could out-rap Rocky, though. Because Rocky's just so laid back and just like, he's like Drake. He raps lazy.
Another one. He's probably... Is Drake my favorite rapper? He's to be.
Singer.
I don't know where I am with that currently. I don't know.
Everyone, is Drake a rapper or a singer? This is for the people on Spotify.
Both of them, Spotify. He's both of them. I mean, I listen to Drake. He's another one of the artists that I listen to like before everybody because, yes, I was a Degrassi kid. Yeah. Of course. So
I wish I watched Degrassi. Think into it. I saw the episode where he got shot.
Oh,
I was
Jimmy.
just like, okay.
After they put Jimmy in that wheelchair, I said, oh.
The guy who shot Drake in the show, I told my friend, you look just like him. He was just like, shut up, bro. I was just like...
He had my favorite music video of his was I'm Upset, where he went back to Degrassi and he brought back a lot of the old actors.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard to find that video. I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but at one point I think it was taken down. But he brought back like a whole bunch of kids from Degrassi, like some other adults, and they're all in the music video. And he sort of reenacted that scene where he got shot with the guy that shot him, but it was the other way around. So like that guy, the guy that shot him in the show, he was the one that was running away. And I was like, oh, this is so good, so good. I'm upset. I was like, yes.
I think the meme I saw with that was where it was like, you know, when I forget the name of the song, but it goes like, what you say? Jason Derulo sampled it. I saw that meme after that, and I was just like, bro, I love the internet, but sometimes it's horrible.
You should have seen, like, just to be there live and to watch that. I was also too young to be watching it, but I was like, I'm gonna watch it.
I mean, I didn't watch it, but I
Such
wish
a
I
good
did.
series. But Drake, yeah, I think his last album, Honestly Nevermind, sort of took me back a little bit to the old Drake, which I really liked. A little bit. But I think it's new Drake is very different. Right. Just like new Beyonce is very different. New Rihanna was a little bit different, but
right.
I don't know. It's been like 15 years since she put out an album, so I wouldn't know anymore. But shout out to her going to the Super Bowl.
I remember when I was a kid, I really liked Diamonds. I was in Germany when that was going off. I was like, I like this. Really good.
That was a really good one.
Even though it was played like all the time, I was like, I still like it. It's that and you remember Gym Class Heroes?
Wait a minute. Take a look at my girlfriend.
Take a look at my girlfriend.
I'm
gonna get copyright strikes.
Yeah, we are. What was the song I was singing? Clothes Off. I was singing that the other day, like literally last week.
I liked Kid Nothing because he had what they did in the album with. I think it was. I want to say it's Cupid's Chokehold.
Love.
Is that the song or is that the album?
Cupid's Chokehold. I know it's a song.
I forgot the name of the album, but I think it was the same one with Cupid's Chokehold.
Breakfast in America?
Yeah. Real quick.
I
literally have to do it. No, it's the Paper Cup Chronicles, number 1.
Oh, number 1? Yeah.
Yeah. Kid Nothing versus whatever, because it's like long dialogue. They had that song, and then they had like that guitar solo, like at the end of the song. But then Paper Cut Chronicles 2, in the last song, Kid Nothing, in the Never Ending Nightmare, they continue with the guitar solo, a different guitar, but I was just like,
that's epic.
I love this song. It's my favorite Gym Class Heroes song, man.
Bring back Travie McCoy. Bring back.
I heard a lot of things that happened to him, man. He's been through a lot lately.
Really?
Yeah, he got into like a lot of drugs and stuff, and he got into rehab, and he's getting better.
That's good.
But no idea when he's gonna drop another thing.
Man, he was so awesome.
Yeah.
I used to love their music videos. I used to love, man, they were awesome.
Yeah. Was it Millionaire or Billionaire? Billionaire. That was a good one. Yeah. It was popular, and I know it was played over and over, and it's very obnoxious, but I still liked it every time it came on, you know? It was one of those that was very catchy to me.
I mean, Bruno Mars, he's another one. He's really great.
I like his older stuff, too.
Yeah. I love all of his stuff. I really like, I just got the 24K. I just got that album.
Yeah, I think I've seen it when I came over, yeah.
Yeah, I just got that. I think that's probably... Is that the last one I bought? Because I'm getting huge into vinyls now. Yeah. So, of course, my favorite artist, I have 2 of hers. I'm about to order another one. Probably when I go to Fayetteville, I'm going to go get a couple more. I'm already saving for it.
I'm going back at the end of the month, so let's do it.
I am too. I'm going on the 20-something.
I'm going on the 29th. So.
Oh, you're going Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going the weekend before.
I might be coming back the 30th, though. I don't want to... I know what kind of town that place is. Well, at night.
Oh, it's going to be
at night.
Jumping.
It's going to be, like... I'm probably not going to be able to move through traffic because people are walking in the streets with their costumes and
especially
candy, so I'm going to leave there that day.
Yeah, you might want to. Especially if you're going to be on Dixon. Yeah, no, just be prepared.
I'm definitely going back to that record store because that's where I got the Daft Punk one, my first vinyl.
Yes.
Yo, let's talk about vinyl.
Before we get into vinyl, I want to say something. Because you mentioned with Gym Class Heroes, like their their last song in their last album, right?
Yeah.
And it made me think of the 1975. I don't know if you're into them at all, but
Sounds familiar. I don't think I've gotten into them. But
they're so good. They have songs like Chocolate. Another one of the songs when I'm like in the mood. It's so. Let me go to 1975 real quick. They have this song called Somebody Else.
Somebody else.
It'll tear you up. You listen to it in the daytime.
All right.
When it's light outside, you'll be okay. Because the music, the beat, it's so good. You listen to it at night, completely different. You're going to be in a corner crying like a baby. The same exact song. So weird.
Right.
But the 1975 is really, really slept on.
Right.
And their album, every album, they have the same intro. It's just different music. But the lyrics are the same for every intro, which I think is really cool. But they change it to fit their new album.
Right.
So you get a feel for what this new album is going to be like just from the intro with the same. It's just like one of those things that makes an artist or a group really stand out. Like, it's so, like, this is their thing. And so whenever a new album comes out, I'm like, let me listen to this intro. Like, it hooks me from the beginning. So it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. I think right now my favorite artist is Tame Impala. Listen,
That's
On
a
Track.
good one.
On Track is my song. Because you got that basic, like, oh, this is like every pop song. It was going to start off, but then as soon as that piano hits on the second half, it's not even the second half, it's literally the first part of the song. It puts you in a mood, man. I was like, I'm so in the moment right now. Like, I love Tame Impala. They have so many good songs. I love what is it? The one I'm trying to get on vinyl that I can't find anywhere. Currents. The A side and B side.
Yeah.
I mean, B side's alright. They only got one song on the B side that I really love. But the A side is like, Eventually. Love Eventually. I did that thing you did with, I think you said Don Richardson, where it's like you heard a song and you slept on it. And then like it got stuck in your head. And then you went to the album and was just like, alright, well, let's see how. That's what I did with Tame Impala.
Yep.
I love Tame Impala, man.
What is your favorite album? Like, are you going of all
How
time?
could you ask me? By what?
Of all time.
It's between Currents and Discovery by Daft Punk. Even though I have Random Access Memories.
Which is a great album.
Yes, love it.
Incredible.
I'll put that as like my third favorite. But first has got to be Discovery. Second, Currents by Tame Impala. And then it's got to be Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those are good ones.
Sign of the times. I thought Tame Impala was an older band too, until I found out they dropped Currents in 2015. I was like, this sounds like it'd be like 2000s.
Really?
Like just the cover art looks like it'd be 2000s. Have you seen their cover art?
I don't think so.
Oh, let me show you real quick. Like, it just gives me like
Ooh,
Windows
that is
95.
really cool. That
type vibe, you know?
It really does give Windows 95.
Like, I
That's good though.
Well, as far as we were gonna get into vinyl.
Yes.
Vinyl collections. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we get on to that? This vinyl is like. All right, let's go to vinyls. What vinyls are you looking for right now that you just can't find anywhere? I already said mine earlier, but that's what you're trying to look for.
Going back to Dawn. I hate it. Well, sorry. Why is she so amazing?
No, dude, keep going. It's your favorite artist. You have to.
Like,
I'm gonna be talking about Tame Impala the whole time and Daft Punk. So
her Blackheart album is my favorite album of all time, and
I'm gonna listen to Goldheart and Blackheart.
Yes,
I'll do that. That'll be my mission for the next 2
You might
weeks.
as well finish up because it's a trilogy. So
what's the?
It's Golden Heart, Blackheart, and then Red Heart, but it's really called Redemption. It's Redemption, yeah.
Okay.
She switched up the name for that one, but it's really good.
Okay, I'll definitely listen to those three, but...
Yes. Unfortunately, Blackheart, she did not make a vinyl for that one.
What?
And I'm just like, of all the albums, man, like, can you go back to that one? Even she said that's her favorite album. And so, like, she did an interview maybe, like, last year.
So why didn't you make a vinyl for it?
Yes, I'm just like, dude, like... I only have one album of hers, one vinyl that I still need to get, but I'm just like, dude, why do you not have one for Blackheart?
Right.
Like, it's really a travesty. Like, just make one and I'll buy it.
It is
like,
a Travis Scott concert.
That's a Travis Scott, man. But I'm gonna get SZA's Control album. I want to get Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer.
Dirty Computer.
Yeah,
that sounds
really, really good one.
Dirty.
It was dirty. It was dirty.
All right.
I was like, Janelle, you didn't have to do that.
You had to give me the little duster and everything.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need to take a bath after you listen to it.
Yeah, dust bunnies everywhere.
For sure.
Windows 95.
Her and Pharrell went off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zoe Kravitz.
Oh.
Yeah.
Zoe Kravitz.
Singing.
Zoe
Kravitz singing. Yes.
She was good in Batman.
I still haven't seen it. I might watch it today. I know. Brandon, I've been busy. Don't give me that face. Y'all, he is making a face like, how dare you? But also Marvel over DC, so I'm not really pressed to see it. Marvel over DC. Yeah. I just watched Thor Love and Thunder like last week, 2 weeks ago. I liked it. I don't understand all the hate it got.
I think
Is it Ragnarok? No. But I think it's...
For me, they're just making Thor not that... not lovable, unlovable now, but they're not taking him as serious. Not that... It's the fact that they just made him like the joke, the butt of all the jokes. Like what they did in Endgame to... I think it was just Endgame that he's been out where they kind of made him the butt. I guess. Yeah.
But I think...
Because they made him like the big, like hefty, fat Thor, and it's just like...
But I think he was still the GOAT because I love what they did with that. And at first, I did not like what they did in Endgame with him because I was like, okay, we're really making a joke out of Thor. But I think it really brought up a bigger conversation about mental health, which, for those of y'all who don't know, I have a degree in psychology, so I'm getting a degree in industrial and organizational psychology. So I think for me, it was like it brought up a conversation about mental health. How, okay, he's been depressed. He has gained all this weight. But Thor was still kicking behind and taking names.
Yes.
He set off with his head. He was going for Thanos' throat.
Yeah.
He was going to take him out. So I think it was still really good. How, he was still sort of the butt of the joke, but he was at the same time still respected as being Thor. Yeah. And still being worthy. You know, he could still, he's still in Stormbreaker.
But I think it's also, and what I've seen from a lot of people, what they have to say about Thor is like the movies, how they make him, like they get rid of Asgard in Ragnarok. They make it where Captain America is worthy, so now he's not the one who's worthy. And now in this new movie, his old girlfriend is worthy now.
So it's almost
so it's like they kind of take away his special. Yeah, they're taking it all away. But this is kind of what I saw from the beginning. Well, I don't want to say I saw this from the beginning because we haven't seen Wakanda Forever yet. But I was thinking they're going to make Wakanda like the new Asgard. How it's big and just... You remember when you watched it, Asgard was like, dude, this is great. It's shiny. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I think that's what they're going to do with Wakanda. I hope that's what they're going to do with Wakanda.
I hope they don't do that.
Make it the new Asgard?
Do you know why?
Don't tell me it's T'Challa.
Well, yeah, I think to respect T'Challa, to respect Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, one of my favorite actors of all time.
I just saw the movie, James Brown.
Oh, really?
He was good.
He's always been one of my favorite actors. The first thing I ever saw him in, I used to watch soap operas as a kid, I know. So I saw him in the soap, but I also saw him in Lincoln Heights. This was way before Chadwick Boseman was Chadwick Boseman. And I was like, man, I just love him. He's such a great actor.
Right.
And so by the time like the James Brown and the Thurgood Marshall and the Black Panther came along, everybody's like, Chadwick Boseman. And I'm like, y'all are behind. Yes, he's incredible.
He's been incredible.
He's been amazing. But yeah, I think to respect him and his legacy, but also I think about it this way. If you have, and I'm not trying to make anything racial, but if you have something that is known as a safe space for black people, and you take that away and you give that to someone, which it just depends. When you think of Asgard, you do think of Thor, you think of Odin, you think of Loki, meaning i.e. white, and white. It seems to me like that would be like colonizing to me. Removing of a predominantly black space and making way for...
You thinking they're going to make it more mainstream like they did with Asgard, maybe? Is that what you're getting at? Or you mean just like...
I mean, I think black people deserve their thing. I think we deserve to keep Wakanda. I think we deserve to occupy our space because...
Yeah.
Especially in the MCU... I mean, think about it. What do we have other than really Black Panther? We have, I mean, we're getting better because we do have Valkyrie.
Valkyrie?
Did she die? Okay. I was like, did she die? No. But Jane died. Jane died.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. I hope you guys have seen that. Spoiler.
We're not cutting that.
Let's just cut that.
No, we're not cutting that. We're keeping that in. If you haven't seen Thor,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, I don't like the way... I felt like they kind of made it too jokey with her having stage 4.
You do?
I feel like it was a little bit too jokey. It was just like, are we joking just a little bit too much about this? Because when people have that...
Were they joking or were they just trying to make it not as dark?
Well, it was still dark.
I mean, I think we know the severity of, like, cancer, right? And I think because you are going to have a lot of kids watching this, it's like, to what extent
I think that's
should
mainly
they
where...
be...
I think that's where I'm trying to... So I don't know if that's joke.
I think that made it... I do think they made it lighter.
Yeah, which I guess is fair
for kids.
But I don't know. I have to look into that a little bit more.
But yeah, I think we need Wakanda because we don't have a lot of black spaces in media that we can call just ours, especially in something so big. I mean, think about like all the racial thing that's been coming up in like Star Wars. We ventured off again, and this is not music related at all. But I mean, just think about like Star Wars and how like, you know.
I got a perfect way we can lead it back in though. So keep going.
Okay. Star Wars. Think about how there's been a lot of talk about, you know, bringing black people into that space. Or Game of Thrones, same thing.
They have, kind of, but it's not very much.
DC and Marvel, I mean, these are predominantly like white spaces, right? But I think with bringing in Black Panther, they were just like, whoa. Like, first of all, I think Marvel was like, no, this is going to sound bad, but I think Marvel was like, oh, we can make money off of this. And this is
so that's how you feel about the Black Panther movies, that it was kind of like a cash grab to get people who are in that community.
I don't entirely, but I think Marvel
kind of sending it just a little bit, kind of.
I think people are smart, and they would not have made the money if they didn't think that it was going to generate cash flow. Yeah. But I think they did it the right way, though. I will say, I think they did it the right way by getting Ryan Coogler and making sure that they had the director there. I think they did it the right way by having Kendrick Lamar lead the album. I think they did it the right way because
back into the music,
right? I think they did it the right way. I think for any business or corporation, they think about the money first. But I think with we can get into soundtracks.
Oh man, I will give you so many suggestions for soundtracks.
Look, I'm ready to hear it, but I think they did it the right way, which is what I respected, and so I just want them to be able to maintain and keep with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I see what you mean. Sure.
But give me what you like. What soundtracks do you?
Well, the Black Panther soundtrack is
Black Panther
perfect.
Soundtrack all the way.
Yes, but we were kind of talked about that. Besides that. Since already been mentioned, I would have to say. So there's a game I play. It's called Persona 5.
Okay.
It's very anime based.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack in that is so beautiful. It's chill. I don't know if you can count other things as soundtracks when it comes to like anime intros.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because it's like, you know, it's already been a song.
Right.
But the anime just used it for that. I like those.
What?
So, back to Kid Cudi, though. Intergalactic.
I've not listened to it yet, only because I've not been able to watch the show.
Watch.
Or is it a movie?
Movie.
It's a movie.
I thought it was
I've
a
not
show,
been
but
able
they
to
kind of
watch.
split it up in the movie as if it's like a show. It was like, yeah, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4.
Okay. I've not been able to watch it yet. I just got to get the time to, but...
I'm kind of twitching out because of the coffee. It's not my only cup. Sorry.
For me, I love the Black Panther album. I think another really transformative, and I think for the culture. But I think also for media, I think that was the first album in a long time that we had where we were just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this corresponds with the album, or with the movie, with the film really great. I was listening to music on the radio and was like, this is from the soundtrack. I'm like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
I think Beyonce did her thing with the Lion King album. Yeah.
She did.
Woo!
She did do good.
She tore up.
How is
That's...
it? Oh, no, you go ahead.
That one was incredible.
Yeah. I like the Aladdin soundtrack, the live action Aladdin.
I didn't listen to that one.
Like I said, I just like the soundtrack. The movie itself was okay. It was
I've
the
seen
same
the movie.
the same concept though.
Yeah.
It was just,
But I'm very limited on my Disney because I wasn't a Disney kid. I was a Nickelodeon kid. I didn't watch cartoons as a kid. I know, it's bad.
really?
I was.
Well, even anime? Well, I don't know if you count anime necessarily. But
I mean, I did. Like, I had a couple shows. Like, I'd watch like Hey Arnold. I'd watch Digimon.
Right.
Power Rangers, even though it's not animation, but it's like a kid's show.
Power Rangers is fire.
That was kind of it. I thought it was all really... I was a little adult as a kid, so I was like, this is childish. There was no SpongeBob for me. I would watch Scooby-Doo because I'm able to stimulate my mind, so I'd be able to try... I'm trying to figure out... That was my Law & Order SVU. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out, like... I'm trying to solve this mystery.
NCIS?
It's my NCIS. My Chicago PD.
Chicago PD. Law & Order.
My Law & Order, so...
Latest name of the show.
That's why...
I just know it's just the dun-dun.
Dun-dun. Those were my stories.
Yeah,
that's what I was... I mean, I was watching soap operas as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, go watch cartoons. And I'm like, but Mom, this is so good. This is good. I want to figure out what happened to Raul and Stacy.
Yeah.
Like, what? And she's like, get out of here.
I watched some of that stuff with my mom a little bit. I watched Dr. Phil with my mom. I watched...
Oh, Lord.
I think I watched... Have you heard of Seventh Heaven?
I loved Seventh Heaven.
Man, that was a...
Controversial now, but I loved it then.
Probably is controversial now that I think about it.
Yeah, super conservative, super like...
It was just like a... How to be a person.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like the whole plot of it was all
real
over the
feel
place.
good.
Yeah.
It was real... It'd be perfect on Hallmark.
I love that intro.
I used to love stuff like that.
But
I think like with the Black Panther, Beyonce's The Gift, the Lion King, The Gift album, I own Space Jam on vinyl, that soundtrack.
Ooh.
I own Thriller. I think I own Purple Rain.
Purple Rain?
Purple Rain.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
I have a few soundtracks. I own the Lion King soundtrack itself, but not The Gift. I want The Gift, Beyonce's, but I have a friend, he has it, and I'm just like...
Hey, you told me, can't think of his name. Starts with a T. He's on your podcast. Tolly, yeah. You told me he has a Joji vinyl. I'm gonna rob him real quick.
I know. He told me
I
he was
want
gonna
one
give it to
so
me.
bad, bro.
Tolly, if you can hear me, I need that Joji album that you said you're gonna give
Tolly,
me.
give it to me. I'm a bigger Joji fan.
Tolly, give it to me. I'm working on my vinyl game.
Which one does he have? Well, which album?
Which one do you think he has?
I mean, I don't know how big of a fan he. Well, there's only two. So
Which song? What is my favorite Joji song? Yeah.
Tolly, please give it to me instead. I know I don't know you like that, but
Tolly, we're closer.
Hopefully I can get them all on the podcast too. That'd be...
Yeah, they would love to. They would love to. I mean, not me speaking for them, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of weird. They don't know me. I'm just like, hey, come over to my house and we sit on my porch. But I'll probably do that for the... Oh, don't know if I'm going to spoil too much from my podcast plans, but... Beyond the porch.
Yeah. You know, with our podcast, we definitely have talked about venturing out, and that's what we were able to do with our visual series. So I think definitely being able to be a part of other podcasts and being able to collaborate, especially if you know someone personally. Like, you and I have been friends for years, so being able to collaborate and say, like, hey, let's do this. Like, I want to do this. And I've always said, I don't know if I want to say this on here, but I'm going to say it. I want to start an investment group. And so part of being in the investment group is getting some like-minded people together to invest in other people's businesses or, you know, things that they want to accomplish. So
kind of like having like a, I wouldn't say a sponsorship, but I don't know if that's
kind of sorta.
Okay.
But I think that's starts off minimally with the podcast, since I have so many friends who do have podcasts. Like, you know, be like, let's do this together. Like, let's cheer each other on. Let's support each other. Let's promote
you were telling me the
other
other day is what you're like something for us to promote other. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Okay, I was just like,
well, it goes beyond that, because like I want to do like full businesses and things like that. Like, I have friends who want to do real estate, so like being able to invest in that company. I myself want to open a wine and coffee bar. I already know what the name of it is going to be.
I'll be there for the coffee.
Listen, and I'll be there for the hors d'oeuvres, because we're gonna have like little snacks. So I'll be there for that, and cold brew. You know, I love cold brew. I'm not a huge fan of like warm coffee, like the hot stuff.
I don't know. I think, I mean, I grew up around just coffee my entire life. My dad was a big coffee roaster, coffee everything. Like,
he's brought me sometimes when I was at the commissary.
Yeah, it says it. Through Trey, or did he go up to you and be like, here?
Through Trey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he has. Have you tried it? Well, obviously, probably did. I mean, that's kind of a...
Yeah,
what'd you think of it?
I like cold brew, so like I'd pour it over ice, let it chill out for a little bit, pour it over ice.
They actually do make some mugs for, well, not mugs, but like a thermos kind of. I got one for my dad for Christmas because he was getting into iced coffee at one point, but I think he stopped using the thing. He like fill a layer of it with water, put the cap on. Oh, put the cap on there for the water layer, and then put the coffee in there. Screw the thing on there, and then put it in the freezer. It doesn't freeze the coffee, but it makes the
that's epic.
It's awesome.
That's epic.
I think that's how it works here. It's like you put it in there, or put the ice in there, or the water in there, put the thing in the freezer, then make the coffee.
And then pour it.
It could be. It was confusing, but I just saw it on a video. I was like, my dad would like that.
Yeah.
And he has it sitting in the freezer for just sitting there. He doesn't use it anymore. Pain. I'm just kidding. I don't want to be like, oh, so that's how it is. But no, I think I don't think we explored too much on vinyl as much as I wanted to, because we went to soundtracks.
I know we were kind of.
But I mean, you can still get soundtracks on vinyl too.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack in Barnes and Noble. Like, you can see a lot of stuff like that.
I need to go. That's where I typically get mine. Barnes and Nobles or Walmart. I got Adele's last album on vinyl, and one of the things that I love about Adele is she really crosses.
I still haven't listened to that album.
Oh, so good. My Little Love. What? My Little Love is amazing. I 30, love Adele because,
30, right? Is the...
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. I love Adele because she is somebody that, like, she crosses generations. So I'm able to sit back and just, maybe even today, because it feels so nice outside, I'm gonna just like let up my window.
Hey, I am leaving this open because we got a screen, which, by the way, viewers or listeners, we have a screen on the porch now, so keep bugs out, except for that wasp over there. But, you know, I might just leave this open. Yeah, might just leave this open and blast some music and make some neighbors angry.
That's probably what I'll do today.
Heck yeah.
That'd be really cool. But Adele, I can sit back and vibe to her, and she's something that, like, my mom can listen to, my grandparents can listen to,
and everyone
and they're all just like, everybody, like, for the first episode of Millennial versus Presents Gen Talk, I'll never forget how nervous I was, because I had this vision in my head, but I didn't know, like, how is this going to be when we put it all together. And so I said, let me put on this vinyl album. Let me put on something that, like, we can all listen to. And so I put on Adele, because I knew the first people that were coming in, they were a little bit older, and I was like, I want to be respectful. So I don't want to be blasting none of my music that's just got cussing all in it or whatever. So I was like, I want to be respectful. And so we put on the album, and we were just listening to it, and we were setting up, and we were just walking around the room, hooking up microphones and cameras and lights, and setting up all the accessories and all that kind of stuff. And so the first one came in, our first guest, and she was like, "What are y'all listening to?" And I was like, "Oh, this is Adele." And she's like, "This is good." I was like, "Thank you." And so the next guest comes in again. She's a little bit older, and she was like, "What song are y'all listening to?" And I was like, "It's Adele. I think it was My Little Love at the time." And she was like, one of the other ladies, she was like, "This is really good, right? Like this is like especially having younger kids." She's like, "I didn't they listen to this kind of stuff still." I'm like, "Oh yes, ma'am. This album just came out. Like it's so good." And so I love how Adele is one of those artists who she's able to really just sort of connect
to everybody.
Different generation. She really just to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good album.
Yeah, I really want to get more into Adele. I mean, I've listened to the one that has "It's Me," "Hello." I listened to that album. It was good.
It was really good.
Really good.
Adele's another one I've been listening to since before she was big. I listened to "Chasing Pavements." Like, I think that's her second single of all time. Like, so that's when I first came around Adele, and I was like, "This girl, she's gonna be something." Here we are.
Yeah, I think I just want to evolve my music taste now. I've already said earlier, trying to move on from the whole rap and everything. I'll still listen to some rappers, only a few specific, that interest me. But I think it's more that I think it all just kind of corresponds to me wanting to grow up.
Yeah.
Because I'm an adult now. I mean, I miss my childhood and my teenhood, but I got the haircut now, so I gotta move on.
Oh, it's time.
It's time. I'm mature now.
See, I got the long hair. I got it in a ponytail today, so.
I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that either. If you can style your hair,
Yeah. I don't know when I'm gonna cut it, but.
Take care of it more than I did.
I'm taking care of it now because with me working, it just depends. Sometimes, like on a hot day, we had a hot day one day this week, and so I was like, I'm putting my hair up. Yeah. And so I walked in, and my kids were like, "Mr. Keenan, I like your hair. You never put in a ponytail. You never put in it." And I'm like, it's hot.
I mean, hey, through working with you, like I've seen you change your hair from like locks to like a lot of things. I was just like,
yeah, I did my locks, my twists, my curls,
you done it all, man.
Top knots, my ponytails, my buns.
See, now I wish I got locks, but I was just like, I was told what all the stuff that's required for it, and then it kind of hurts to pick it out and I was like, maybe I'll not do that. But as far as like twists and braids and cornrows, like everything, it's all having that hairstyle is great. But eventually got to a point where my scalp was getting very itchy, so I was just like, buzz it all off.
I'm gonna do probably my faux locks again really soon, just because it'll be something nice for me to not have to do for the next few weeks. So that'd be really great.
There you go, man.
I gotta switch it up every once in a while. I switch it up like I switch my music taste.
Yeah, exactly.
I switch it up like, honestly, it just depends. Like right now, I have this, and it's so crazy correlating that back to music, but right now with my hairstyle, I have this little skunk stripe, and I say that I'm in my villain era, right?
Villain.
And so I found myself lately listening to a lot of like sort of darker music and like things that have some real serious tones and beats and like something that's really deep. I think of like I said, the 1975 Somebody Else. I think of Phoenix. I think of Tame Impala. I think of Dawn Rashad. She has this song called Harley Quinn. I really think of Harley Quinn. Like that's what I think of with this hair. But Harley Quinn, it's a really good one.
Fantastic. No.
Yeah, I mean, like some more emo-ish,
Yeah.
Lil Uzi, a little bit of Lil Uzi,
Uzi's timeless, but like his new stuff is kind of.
Is he timeless?
He was timeless.
Oh, he was.
In 2016, he was timeless. But I don't think that word really works because he's kind of.
Okay, so you brought up a really interesting point now.
Let's go. Let's
So
start
I
up.
want to think of. Ooh, let's see how I want to phrase this.
I keep saying to myself, like, this is going to be a long podcast, but, like, we talked a lot about political stuff that I'm going to probably cut out and save for the next part, so
Different
it's not
episode.
that long. So, but let's continue.
So what do you think about when referring to an artist as their music being timeless versus them being labeled as
This is going to be a hard question.
it is, it really is, being labeled as an icon or a legend?
Jaden Smith is an icon because he made a song about it.
He said he's not an icon living.
Huh?
Jaden is, I mean, he is, I think he's an icon. I think he's a trendsetter. I think he's another one right now who I've been listening to a lot lately. Where I'm just like,
I didn't care too much for his music, but I listened to, I can't remember if it was Iris or Sire.
oh,
Might have been. It's
Sire's
one of them
amazing.
that has the summertime. I think is the name of the song. It's the one that's kind of like has a guitar, sounds kind of poppy. All the songs sound kind of poppy. I think his music is pretty
CTV. Ugh, CTV3.
Mhm.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, I think some of his music is alright. I think Icon is overrated. Or not overrated, but overplayed.
Ooh.
I think it's overplayed.
I've seen him
Was
in concert
overplayed.
too. I've seen. Oh, listen.
So you disagree?
Let's talk about concerts. I've seen J. Cole. I've seen Dawn like 4 times.
I know you've
I've
seen J. Cole and Don.
Yes.
Love J. Cole.
I've seen Beyonce. I've seen Kelly Rowland. I've seen Lupe Fiasco. I've seen Snoop.
You didn't
I've
tell me you've seen Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah,
I
Lupe
think,
was cool.
Oh.
Lupe Fiasco was throwing water bottles, slinging water in the crowd. I was like, yeah, this is like a mosh pit.
Well,
Crazy.
let's continue, but I do need to go to the bathroom real quick. Get a little bathroom break.
We'll come back to that.
Alright. I feel like I can do backflips now. Where are we at?
So, with concerts,
Uh-huh.
I think that's what I want. With concerts,
Yeah.
I've seen Dawn, I've seen Danny DeCane.
Amazing.
Amazing. That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I did the whole meet and greet. I did all of that. So I got to meet them, I got to see them, I got to talk to them.
Uh-huh.
I got to hug them, I got to
Get the pictures in.
literally
Yeah.
live my life.
Did you have to spend money for the pictures?
Yeah, it was
that.
only well, I mean, you gotta think you're paying for an experience. That's why I would have paid $1,000. I would have paid thousands for it. Honestly.
Mhm.
I know it sounds bad and it's just, that sounds
No,
ridiculous.
no.
But
I understand, but then again, it's like at the end of the day, a picture's a picture, but it's
Mhm.
with someone that you really wanted that
yeah,
picture
I
with,
mean,
that
I got to have
artist.
conversation with them and like talk to them about like, I was asking Dawn like, what's your next song that's coming out? Or we were talking about like their drive in, and I was like, wait, you guys drove? And Shannon was like, yeah, I had to drive because like they didn't know how to like drive in the rain, and I'm from Oregon, so I'm used to the rain, so I had to take the wheel. And I'm just like, but you're on tour, like you're the artist. She's like, you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
So like I drove, and she was like, did you drive in the rain? I was like, I did.
Mhm.
And then like Aubrey, she like they were like, you might want to take your glasses off for the picture, and I was like, oh. Like, I won't be able to see, but I'll take them off. And Aubrey was like, can I wear them for the picture? I was like, sure. And so she was like, okay, I'll put them on. She put them on. She's like, oh, no, I can't. She's like, your eyes are bad. I was like, girl, I know. I know. And so, like, this is just me having chill conversation with my favorite artist, you know?
Yeah.
So you pay for the experience, but Dawn knows my name.
That's
Crazy.
amazing.
Crazy.
I wish I'd gone to concerts and stuff like that.
Still can.
I still can, but I don't know when Breaking Benjamin is coming back.
Ooh.
Because they did one in Verizon Arena in Little Rock. They did a whole concert there.
When was that? Like 2018? 19?
2019.
Yeah.
2019, but we are back. We had a someone who's not going to be a guest ever in my life. No, I'm just kidding.
We had to take a brief intermission, guys.
Yeah, I got to get my. I don't know what I had to get, man. But concerts, yeah, never really been to a concert. Been wanting to do a Breaking Benjamin concert, but I heard there was one somewhere out in Arkansas. It's not in Little Rock, but it was. I think I want to say going towards Fayetteville.
Maybe Rogers. They have a Walmart amphitheater there.
Might have been Rogers.
Yeah.
Really might have been there, yeah. But yeah, I really want to go to a concert one day in my life, but
Sometimes you gotta venture out. I mean, sometimes you like go to my first concert. But my first concert was here.
yeah.
I've seen Bruno Mars a few times when he's come here. Really good.
Oh, yeah.
But I went to Dallas to go see Danny King because they weren't coming close, and I was like, I'm going to Dallas. So I did my meet and greet, and then I went to New Orleans to see Dawn. I've been to St. Louis. But I mean, I understand New Orleans might be a little far. It's like 7 hours, but
Right.
Dallas isn't too bad if you have a good weekend and you just or sometimes you have to make the time,
Just
to
avoid
be
traffic.
yeah, well, honestly, traffic wasn't bad for me, depending on the time you go.
Oh,
I try
okay.
to go kind of early.
I heard there are a lot of things about traffic in
Mm-hmm.
Texas.
Oh, it can be bad.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, or Nashville. I saw Beyonce in Nashville.
Nashville. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Had to go to the stadium. I was like, oh, this is incredible.
I'll definitely have to go to a concert one of these days for sure. Probably see if any artist I like. I will go to a Tame Impala, Breaking Benjamin. I was gonna say Linkin Park, but they don't make music anymore. I was about to say Daft Punk, but they retired too. J. Cole. Just
J. Cole said in concert, he said, I will be coming back. So, yeah, he'll be coming back. I believe him because he was like, listen, he was like, y'all see some of these empty seats here? Like,
yeah.
I want to make sure next time I come, this is full. So, I was like, all right, J. Cole.
Yeah.
Hey.
I definitely can't wait for that.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, he
Really good.
love his music.
He was like preaching during his concert too. I was like, oh, J. Cole, you're speaking my spirit now. Hold on now. Hold on now.
You told me about Stevie.
Yeah.
When he was KOD.
Literally KOD.
It was just like, bro, you just defeated the whole
sir.
purpose of going. I mean, hey, no.
To each their own, I guess.
I mean, I'm sure it'd been like very scary because like anything that's like loud, and I'm pretty sure if you were very impaired, would be like 10 times scarier. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think it might be all for today.
I'm gonna see if there's something else in here.
I mean, if there's something else you can think of, we got time.
Oh, let's go back to the icon versus legend. Like, who do you see
Yes.
as an icon?
I did not answer that question.
And okay, I'm gonna level set what an icon and what a legend is, right?
Okay.
When I think of an icon, I think of someone who is like the greatest in the moment.
Okay.
Or the greatest for a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And a legend is someone who their music is going to like transcend forever, for always and eternity. So like Katy Perry, I think of as an icon, right?
Beyonce's an icon.
Ooh, I think Beyonce is a legend.
Or wait.
Legend is like for all eternity. I think
icon is
Beyonce
just
as an
like-
entertainer is going to be like.
Cows.
Is that what that was?
Yeah. They always be mooing. I'll have my window open and I just hear moo in the morning. I was like,
Is that a cow right there?
yeah. Yeah,
What?
I think it is. Just chilling and booling.
Hello, Mr. Chick-fil-A.
Eat the
Eat
chicken.
more chicken.
Nah, I'd have
But yeah,
more
I
steak.
think of Beyonce as an icon, or I'm sorry, as a legend, because I think that her music is going to transcend time, and I think she's already going down as, in my opinion, top 5 greatest entertainers of all time.
Okay.
Up there with
Well, I mean, I agree.
Michael,
Jackson? I agree.
Janet Jackson,
I agree.
Prince,
I agree.
and maybe it's a little outside of the times. I mean, if we're going with entertainer, I mean, obviously like James Brown.
Kanye.
Entertainer, And that's my thing with a lot of newer artists. Like, I'm not putting Kanye up there. I'm not putting. a little controversial. I love you and I'm a Barb. I'm not putting Nicki in that category. I know, not as an entertainer.
I'm not a big Nicki fan either.
I'm a Barb.
A Barb.
I'm a Barb.
I'm not a Barb.
That's what she calls her stands. I'm a Barb, but
You
I'm not
wouldn't be like
her.
playing her music a lot. It's just like sounds like the same song she just released the other day. What's going on?
No.
She's probably picking the wrong songs, but
Nicki is. She's for sure an icon, but I would put her in legend category.
I think she paved the way for a lot.
I think she paved the way.
Yeah.
Because for like 10 years, it was just her.
Mm-hmm.
And some would come in and out, but it was like, exactly. See, Mr. Eat More Chicken, it's a Barb. That's what I'm saying. But I would put Nicki in the legend category. I think she has broken so many records. There are more cows.
There are.
I'm so sorry, y'all, but I really am just like taken aback. I did not know these were over here.
Yeah. I mean, the only times you came here were probably nighttime.
It was nighttime. Yeah.
So you probably didn't have time to see them.
Epic.
Yeah.
But I think Nicki, I think Beyonce, I think poor Kanye. I want to put him in
Icon.
I want to put him in legend.
Yeah.
Because I feel like.
Well, let's say if we just got rid of all the controversy.
If we got rid of thank you. If we got rid of all the controversy, I would probably put him in legend.
I think he's more of an icon because his earlier stuff, all his stuff hits. But his earlier stuff was like
hit.
That was a good time.
Like College Dropout, Late Registration.
Graduation.
Oh yeah.
That I need to get a vinyl of that. Graduation was fire.
Yeah.
But I think he was more. That's why I put him in that
the icon.
The icon, because he was an icon in that set time.
Yeah.
Now his music is just amazing. Now.
Mm-hmm.
Donda was great.
Donda was
My
great.
Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Great.
Ye was short, but he had good songs on
Mm-hmm.
there. Yeezus, was that before?
Yeah.
Pablo
Yeezus was great. Oh.
Pablo was. I like a lot.
I love that album.
I like Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
I like. That's probably the only song I can think of off the top of my head with that album.
FML?
FML's good. Yeah,
Ooh.
FML's good. I can't.
Fade?
Huh?
Come on, Fade. Your love is Fade.
That's my favorite. Yeah. I love Fade.
I feel it Fade.
No, if you could just drop Donda too.
But yeah, I'm not gonna argue against the icon status. I do still think legend, but I agree with icon to the very least. What about Jay-Z? Because a lot of times you talk about Kanye, you think of Jay-Z.
Yeah, I think he's legendary.
Legend?
Yeah.
I kind of put him in. I think if Beyonce was not there to sort of pull him up, I would put him in icon.
You're hurting my ears right now.
I mean, what has he done lately? Other than some features.
Lately.
Past several years.
You know what?
He's riding on Beyonce's coattails. I'm so sorry. Thank God for his wife. Thank God for her.
He might be right. He is an icon. That depresses me too. I love his music.
I do too.
Can't knock the hustle. Love it.
I mean, the blueprints. Yes. On to the next. On to the next one. I mean, I love it. That's probably my favorite Jay-Z.
99 Problems.
Man, it's a hard knock life.
It is a hard knock life.
It's a hard knock life. What about Drake? Are we gonna put him in?
Oh man, I hate what he's doing now with his music. I think it kind of went down when he did Certified Boy Lover, and I think anything after that was kind of. It's not actually called Certified Boy Lover, but I like to insult his stuff sometimes.
I love that album too. I love that one, but I didn't love everything after. Ooh, this is gonna be so controversial.
No. Oh no!
Everything that he's done after. If you're listening to this, is that
too late?
I didn't care for that one. Him in Future, I did not. Everything.
No, that's the one with Jumpman.
Yeah.
The one with Future.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not that one.
Oh, what was that one called? Whatever that one was.
This is the collab album. I'll just call it that.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. I liked Views, but I didn't love it. I like Scorpion. I liked
I like Hotline Bling.
More Life. I love Passion Fruit. I love
Passion Fruit is good. Yeah.
That's so good.
I think my favorite song from him has got to be Tuscan Leather. Because this for an intro sounds like an
Ooh,
end.
that is.
How long is he gonna spend on the intro? Is what he said.
An outro, an interlude, an intermission. That is a song. That is that whole album. Mm-hmm. That whole album. That's my favorite Drake album. Yeah. I love Take Care too, but Nothing Was the Same.
Right. I think Miguel is legendary.
Miguel,
well, he's very low key though. He's not very low key.
He slept on.
He's not underrated, but he's not overrated.
I think he's underrated. You think he's accurately rated?
I think he's in his own lane.
Yeah. I mean, I think I see him like similar to Dawn Richard. I think
hey.
Shameless plug. I think
shameless.
She's severely underrated, but I mean her talent speaks for itself. And same with Miguel. Talent speaks for itself. I think it's a little bit different when you're in an indie space or when you're not getting sort of the attention that you deserve. Mm-hmm. Same with Tenario, same with Tinashe, same with Troye Sivan. I love Troye Sivan.
I've heard some good stuff from Troye Sivan. Yeah.
So I actually have this list of my top 25 favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
And he is the only artist that has all of his albums by technicality on there because he only has 2 albums. Uh-huh. But Miguel, I put Kaleidoscope Dream and All I Want Is You. Mm-hmm. And Troye Sivan, I put Blue Neighborhood and Bloom on there. Okay. And so Dawn's Blackheart, I have Beyonce's Lemonade.
So do you just like when you make a playlist, do you like have it where you put whole albums on some playlist, or do you just like do?
I do by artist. Okay. So I have my artist playlist.
Gotcha. Or you just because like it sounded like you get like a playlist, then you get like an entire album, put it on there, and then get another entire album from another guy, typically. Put it there. Okay.
Well, I will do like all the songs or. Either all the songs or my favorite songs from the artist all on one.
Right.
I don't do similar. I have some that are like mood related or similar sounds, and then I have some that are just like the artist. Like Dawn, I have like the very best of Dawn Richard. Yeah. I have Miguel. I have Beyonce. I have Brandy. I have Missy Elliott. I have Pink.
Yeah.
Pink, another one of my favorite artists. I just think everything she puts out is incredible. And I love how like I don't know anything about her personal life unless she wants us to know. Right. I love how she raises her kids. I love
just everything about her.
I do, and I've been listening to her since honestly before. I don't know, in the 90s, like she was one of those artists that I was like, ooh, really good, like Christina Aguilera, like that sort of. Because I always like loved pop, but I didn't really listen to like full albums back then. It was just like whatever's on the radio. I hope Christina Aguilera comes on. Like, I hope. I don't know. I was that weird kid, but I love Pink.
I think what I try to do with some of my playlists, I will create one specifically for an artist. So I have like a Joji one. I try to look for some fan art thing on the internet that looks cool. So.
So you like?
I go all out. I do that. Yeah. I did that for JID, newer rapper.
Really good.
He's really good.
Everything Dreamville does is really good.
Oh yeah.
Same with Top Dog, Kendrick Lamar and Top Dog. Everybody on there is good.
Yeah.
Rashad, SZA.
Yeah, they're all good. A lot of the labels are good, but I got one for them. I got one for J. Cole. And then I also do some where I want to match 2 different artists. So I got a Playboy Cardi, and I got a Uzi.
Oh yeah,
and then
very similar.
Then I recently did Weezer and Foo Fighters.
Ooh, I used to listen to Weezer back in the day.
Man, Weezer's so good. Yeah. And I also really love Foo Fighters as well. I almost bought their vinyl up in Hot Springs at their mall.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it there. I was like, ooh, but I live in Lincoln Park more, so let me get that.
You can see that.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's another artist that actually came from Danity Kane as well. 2 of the artists, Dawn and Shannon. I'm sorry, not Dawn and Shannon. Shannon and Aubrey. Okay. They created a group called Dumb Blonde, and they were like the 2 blondes in the group, so it was really cool.
I think I've seen
I think
I've
I
seen
played
that
some
around.
of their music for
You
you
might
before,
have, yeah.
back when we worked together.
Yeah.
But they had 2 albums, and their first album, self-titled Dumb Blonde, was like so good. And it's like kind of like bubblegum pop. Like
Bubblegum,
it's the real. It's kind of nostalgic, but it's so like current times.
Yeah.
That it's like, whoa, how am I feeling both at the same time? And you're
Right.
like a new artist. It's really good, but they really curated their own sound, and I really, really appreciate that from them.
Right.
I gotta see if they have a vinyl album, because if so, I'm copying that.
Do it.
I am.
Get it. Go broke over it, like I
I
did
will.
for both my vinyls.
You don't have to tell me, because I
Except
just
my Linkin Park one was $19, which
Okay.
is surprising.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, they do have like a 50th, not 50, 20th anniversary. So it's like gold and special, and probably harder to
Yeah.
find than what they have now. That was like probably more expensive than the one I got, but I got the base album. But
You know who else is really slept on? That like they had a couple of big, like really, really big songs, but I don't really hear people talking about them, and I love them. 5 Seconds of Summer. I listened to them, like all their new stuff. They just had an album come out like 2 weeks ago, and I'm just like, 5 songs.
Oh man.
I get it
5
tattooed on my
Seconds of
forehead.
Summer. I don't know what I think about them. I don't listen to their music like that. Every time I would hear them, I would think like summertime back in 2008,
Yeah.
9, 10, one of those years.
Oh no, they weren't
When I
back
was
then.
in New Jersey. What 2010?
No, later than that.
Later?
Yeah, let me see. I think 5 Sauce, they came out,
15?
yeah, I want to say around that time.
They might have. That was probably back in the days when I was like, had a little box TV still, not a flat screen in my room.
2014.
Because I had a box TV for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible. I tried to play Xbox on it. No, sir. Watching shows and seeing commercials about 5 Seconds of Summer and Kids Bop.
Yeah.
all that
Oh,
that stuff back to back. I was just like, cool.
5 Sauce is really, really good. Really good. Their new albums. And their sound has really matured, and I think it's not as like... Because I think a lot of people think of like... why can I not think of their name? Really popular boy band.
Big Time Rush.
No. They're from the UK.
Oh. I know, but I don't.
Zayn... Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
What was the name of that group? Why can I not think?
Oh, that's probably who I get them mixed up with too.
Oh,
Maybe, but I
yeah.
can't think of their name. I can't think.
I know people are just like listening to this like, it's such and such, you big dummies.
Exactly.
Not me looking it up, because I just can't.
What band was he in? People on YouTube,
And I didn't listen to them.
leave a comment. Tell us who it is.
One Direction.
One Direction.
One Direction. And I didn't
That's
listen
who I
to
get
them.
them mixed up with.
That's
One
who it is?
Direction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm just like, with Harry Styles? 5 Seconds of Summer? No, it's One Direction.
One Direction. Yeah,
That's
I
who
didn't
I'm
really
thinking
listen to
about,
them,
like,
but,
back in
like,
when I was a kid. Yeah, that's probably what
I think I was in high school when they came out.
Yeah, I was probably like 8, 9, 10.
They're
Really good days though, man.
They're really good, yeah. And like I love
I
Harry
wasn't in-
Styles. He's probably, I would say Harry Styles is probably out of the newer artists the person that I'm most impressed with.
Right.
Especially when it comes to pop music, but just music in general. Like
Mm-hmm.
I could play, and it's weird because I could play him with like my family as well.
Right.
But Harry Styles, I would say maybe like Billie Eilish, but I listened to Billie Eilish before she was popular. Me and Megan used to listen to Billie Eilish. I was like,
I don't like Billie Eilish, but it's only for personal reasons.
what are your personal reasons?
Just tied to someone.
I have those artists too. Mine was Michael Bublé. I get it. That's why I'm careful with who I share Dawn with, because I will be doggone if I lose my favorite artist over somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did that with the 1975 at one point too, and I was like, I'm sorry, you're too good of a band for me to like give you away, so I'm gonna have to work through my trauma in order to listen to you guys.
All right.
So I did do that, but
I got one question. I'm
Yes.
switching gears like I did a million times. How do you feel that the people of this generation and probably future generations, kids, how do you think do you think they really missed out on what we had, like early 2000s, and maybe 90s for you? Do you think they missed out and won't be able to feel the same way that we felt? You feel like, oh yeah, this is the moment, this is the time. Do you think they'll get past that with their new Young Boys and that'll sound right? NBA Young Boy and stuff like that. Like,
I think they definitely are very unfortunate in the fact that I feel like I sound old when I'm like, all these kids' music sounds the same.
Well, I do too, but it's true though.
It is true though. I think it's like we said earlier, a lot of copy and paste. I think it's a lot of redundancy. I think there's nothing that's sort of new being done because it's all been done. So it's just like, how many songs do we have now that are coming out that are like remixes to old songs? Right. I mean, they're remixing songs that came out like First Class with Jack Harlow. By the way, I love that song and I like Jack Harlow as well, but I'm just like, dang, Fergie came out with this song when I was like a kid and we're remixing it already. Like, aren't we still remixing songs from like the 70s and 80s? Like, how do we get to these times?
What times are we in?
What times are we in?
I mean, like, nothing's original. Everyone's sampling everything.
Everyone samples everything.
Like, I don't know, man. I feel that kids really are going to miss out on what we had, but I think that's the whole point of just, it's part of growing up.
I think it's a part of instant gratification.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the other things we miss out on is the release of music and the way music is being shoved out to us, right? So like in the old days, oh God, I did not understand the old days. So
you just did.
But
and I have it recorded right now.
God. When I was a kid, it was like you have a single come out and you hear about it on the radio. And so after a couple of weeks of that, then you get to see the music video.
You see
and
then CDs on the show.
Right. After a couple of weeks of that, you get a second single. You never released an album before 2 singles. Yeah. Typically 2 to 3 singles. And then you get the album. And then you get another single afterwards. 3 to 4 singles with the album. Then you get the touring. Then you get some downtime. Then you move on to your next album. So it was like years before you get a next album. But now these artists are pushing out albums like every 3 days. And I'm like, your music is not that good for you to be putting out and releasing music. Maybe you guys should take a step back. Figure out all the songs you've recorded the past year or two. Yeah. Figure out your top 20 songs. Maybe go down from there, then release an album. I feel like they don't do that. I mean, we still have like Beyonce who does that. Adele does that. Rihanna, Rihanna.
I was supposed to say she's a family man, but she's a female. She's a family. She's a mom.
She's a mom. But I mean, she's been running Fenty Beauty, and I really just don't. I can't fault her for that. Like she's been creating her empire as opposed to just music. So whether or not she comes back to music at all, whether or not like the Super Bowl is her last thing, or if she puts out another album, like whatever, I think she has one of those careers where she's done so much. Like if you feel like retiring at whatever age she is now, like you've done it so good. Like if you want to go out on top and stay on top and remain on top, like Rihanna is a legend.
Yeah.
Rihanna is, I think she is like right behind Mariah Carey with the most number ones of all time. So, or she might be tied, something like that. But I mean, like, these newer, just the state of music right now is just not the same. And I think part of it is because of the rollout, and I think part of it is because of the sampling of music, and there's no authenticity anymore.
Now, with all of that going on,
it's
going to lead into my next question. It's going to be about one of my favorite genres ever, kind of. What is your, like, just to get away from all of that stuff, like all of the repeating of the same sound, I'm tired of this because I played it so many times, and just how some people fall off because they try to change with the times.
Right.
All that stuff you just said. What is your comfort genre that some people may not know about? You already know mine. Maybe you remember it, but you might.
I love experimental R&B.
Okay.
I love, like I said, like I said, I love alternative music. Like I said, I love indie music. So for me, it's like indie pop, indie rock, experimental R&B. I love those sort of subgenres of music, because I feel like that's where things get to be so specific. Another shout out, FKA Twigs. She is someone who
she's good, yeah.
FKA Twigs does whatever she wants to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes her music videos, I'm like, girl, what are you doing? What is, like, this makes no sense to me, but I absolutely love it, and God bless you. Exactly. I don't get it. It's really deep, and I'm just like, okay. But FKA Twigs is another amazing artist who I don't really put her in a box because she will do just about anything. And that's my favorite thing about Dawn.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about FKA Twigs. I need to.
Oh yeah,
I actually
she's
need
so
to get
good.
her music. I hear a lot
Classic
of good
Patron. That's one of my favorite videos. Water Me will make me cry. It's such a good one.
There's only one song I can possibly cry to. It's Frank Ocean.
Ooh, I was gonna mention him earlier.
It's not. I think it's solo. Just the instruments and everything. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's. I try to listen to lyrics, and sometimes I don't really pick up off lyrics and if it's depressing or not. And it could be a happy song, and I just be crying to that. But it will make me shed a tear every once in a while because I listened to it at a time where I was going through a lot like difficult situations, and just the whole thing just had me shed a little bit of a tear. I was like,
yeah,
I'm not crying.
His Blonde album was just like, what are you doing? Have you ever heard Godspeed?
Yeah, dude.
Ooh, now that Tali has that album. Tali has that album, and Godspeed came on, and I was like,
I'm going to.
No.
Tali has all the good music,
he has
vinyls
great.
and CDs. I'm going to rob him. I'm not really going to do it. I'm just playing. I'm not
ever looking for a number two, like a second guest to talk about music. Tali would be a great one.
I'd love to. Probably get both of y'all on here at the same time.
We send music back and forth all the time. We have this artist named Q.
Q.
He has a song called "Take Me Where Your Heart Is."
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good.
I'll have to get him on here eventually, but that's a whole thing that I'll have to figure out in the background. But I'd say my comfort genre, though, is vaporwave.
Oh yeah, I should have known that.
Exactly. You know that. Lo-fi and vaporwave. Vaporwave.
I love lo-fi.
Vaporwave. It kind of takes you back to a time. There's specific artists that make some for streaming platforms, like I can't think of their name. Whitewoods. Whitewoods. They make stuff for streaming services, and they're good. But I think the best vaporwave is the ones you can get if you go onto YouTube and just put vaporwave radio or whatever, and you can't find the songs anywhere else but on that radio thing, and it just sounds so good. Eventually, it kind of starts to sound the same, but then they somehow mix it up, and they'll throw like someone like Ice Cube to not that it's like an old song. It's like an old song that he made, and they just put like a vaporwave beat to it, and it's just like, wait a minute, this is cool. So I really love vaporwave. It's really, really good. The playlist I sent you has a lot of like vaporwave stuff to it. I'm sure. And I'm still constantly adding stuff. I don't know if you listened to all of it yet or not, but
I did, but I know you added stuff.
Oh yeah, I always add stuff to that one. Anything that sounds very like either poppy electronic or vaporwavy, lo-fi. Those are the main ones, and alternative. But those are the main like genres I have in that playlist. It's like it's my favorite playlist I've ever made.
I think that's why I love like Troye Sivan being a mainstream artist. His music is very like indie pop, and I'm just like, you guys are sleeping on him. Like, please. I think one of the things about him is that he, like, being an openly gay male, like, I don't know, it's weird because they're more, I don't want to say quote unquote accepting, but
I didn't know he was openly gay.
Yeah, and I think with. Interesting. They don't do the same thing with what?
Are you saying that they categorize him though as like a?
Yeah, I just think that like with Lil Nas X, like they don't do the same thing with him. I think because of how he started, which was like Old Town Road and being a country song, they were just like, I don't think anybody expected for Lil Nas X to be where he is today.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people thought he was more of like a kid's
Yeah.
artist. But Old Town Road is
And then
like...
he switched up on him.
You saw the music video and everything, and I was just like, oh, goodness. And I was like, I mean, hey.
Or like, what is the song that he has where he's dancing with the devil? What's the name of that song?
Call Me By Your...
yes, Call
Montero?
Me By Your Name. Yeah, Montero. I absolutely do not like that video, but I love that song. That's my favorite Lil Nas X song.
Bro, the song has nothing to do with the music video. Is the funniest part.
It does not.
I was just like, huh?
That one and his song with Doja Cat.
He did.
Yeah. Oh, Doja Cat. Doja Cat is another one. I've been on Doja Cat since Candy Days. Yeah, she's
moo 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 moo.
I mean,
I'm not a cat.
Yeah,
Don't say meow.
That's my girl, man. Doja Cat is fire. She's another one of the few artists I would say right now that I'm impressed by.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Troye Sivan in there. I'll put Harry Styles. I'll put Doja Cat. Megan Thee Stallion, depending on the song.
I don't know. I've never been a big Meg Thee Stallion fan.
Ooh, Body. Body is my song.
Body.
Yeah. She has a few of them.
Okay.
But I don't like a lot of the new ones. It's no thing.
Tory Lanez. You like Tory Lanez?
I
remember you
did.
used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until the whole controversy. I assume.
Yeah. But I still like Trap House. I like
Trap House. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my song.
Yeah. Well, is there anything you want to suggest the audience? Like any music, a song? Oh, heck, if you want to share a playlist. Which
Guys,
I will make a playlist on Spotify for all of you.
we should
just
curate
to
one together. We should
got
curate one
Spotify?
together. I do.
Do you have the premium or non-premium? I think you
I
could
do
still
not.
share.
I do not.
I only got premium because I have the student discount. So yeah.
See.
It's like
I need to get on
it's
my
like $5 for that and Hulu. That's what I got. So I'm just like, yeah,
I need to get on that. I'm a student.
got it.
I need to.
I'll try to see if I can find a link for you. But
Yeah.
I think I added like I said that's so weird. I added like ESPN and Disney Plus deal on there, so I'm paying more again. But that's all because the game. And
Right.
I also need to watch Moon Knight. So. But is there anything you would love to suggest the audience? And also, we should create a playlist on Spotify. But
We will do that.
let's do it.
I just want to say, guys, I know that the radio gives you a lot of tunes, but we've got to start supporting, really supporting our indie artists.
Exactly.
The ones who really, a lot of people talk about, like, SoundCloud rappers, but, like, don't be afraid. If you like your SoundCloud rapper, like, listen to them. If you like whoever, wherever you can find music and find inspiration, go listen to it. Don't feel bad for it. Like, your music says a lot about you, so
Right.
just be able to open your mind and venture out and
Try something.
also, try something different, something new.
Mhm.
You know, like Don Richard. Stream her everywhere.
Streamer.
Boom. That's gotta be
YouTube,
my last
Spotify?
plug. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, TikTok,
You
Facebook,
know what else you can find there?
MySpace.
You find Porch Thoughts. You can't find Porch Thoughts on MySpace. You can't find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. But you can't find us on LinkedIn. But you can find us on Instagram and YouTube
Hey,
and Spotify.
and Spotify.
But you can't find us on Apple. You can't find us on SoundCloud. I'm really like
That's
dragging
okay.
it out.
No,
Just
it's okay. It takes time because you know what? With Millennial Versus Season 1, we were only on Spotify and Instagram.
Right.
That was it. We had no YouTube. We had nothing. And then moving into, by the end of Season 2, before we got into Season 3, Millennial Versus is now on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
I was listening to all of that since season 1 when I was looking at
Yes.
the exchange, going in early shifts,
Yeah.
and then they told us not to wear earbuds anymore. And I was like,
I just want to say thank you to you as my friend who
oh, of course, man.
has been listening since Season 1. You know what I'm saying? You've been
course.
promoting us. You always give me good feedback where you're just like, Keenan, I was listening and this is how I feel.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. And I'm for sure going to be doing the same with you on your podcast.
Of course.
Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you for inviting me into your creative space because this is huge. being able to be on Porch Thoughts means everything for me. This is the first time I've ever been on another podcast other than my own. So
there you go, man.
I'm glad I was able to experience that with you as a friend.
I appreciate you coming out here, man, and sharing your thoughts about political stuff, even though that's supposed to be for another episode. But it's all because Kanye, so we'll have to cut
Thanks
it
a
out.
lot, Kanye.
Thanks a lot, Kanye. Love you, but like, don't love your opinions.
Mm.
Or maybe we hate you. You don't know.
I love you, but your
likely,
music. I love your music.
Likely, you're not listening to this. And that's good.
Don't sue us. Also.
Don't, please don't. I don't have money.
We don't have any funds.
I just live in an apartment and do podcasts on my porch with recent screening for keep bugs out, except for that wasp. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you follow Millennial Versus everywhere.
Everywhere we're
Facebook,
available.
right?
Facebook,
Instagram,
TikTok.
YouTube, TikTok. And you can follow Porch Thoughts on YouTube and Instagram and Spotify. So please do follow the Instagram for updates. I'll be releasing a bunch of clips from the last episode and this episode. And yeah, thank you for coming, Keenan.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And leave a like, subscribe, and leave comments of your opinions of what you think and the questions I asked. Or else I'll find you and dox you. No, I'm just... Y'all have a good rest of your day, evening, or... Bye-bye.